All right, so a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about how Steven Crowder has been humiliating Bryan Callen, and I played this clip that Steven posted to his Twitter account of this video where Bryan is dressed up as a cow and some guy is spanking him while he's going moo, and I was concerned. I was like, all right, this is weird, whatever's going on here, especially after all this stuff that's come out about Steven Crowder. So I talked about that in a video. And then during a recent Fighter and the Kid podcast that they titled Steven Crowder Made Bryan Callen's Mother Cry, Bryan brought up my video and he said that's what made his mother cry. She watched that video and I guess she got really concerned about him. So if that's true, if I made his mom cry, I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry, Mrs. Callen. I was just worried about the little guy and I'm glad you're concerned as well. But it sounds like Steven, he's taking good care of him.
Watch it.
And the whole cow suit thing, that was just a funny bit they're doing. I was taking it too seriously. Sorry, I have a pedestrian's brain. I don't understand comedy that well.
A comic's brain is so different than a pedestrian's brain.
And like Bryan said during the podcast, Steven didn't make him get in that costume. He chose to be in that costume.
My mom called me very upset. She said there's a video that says Steven Crowder's been humiliating you and put you in a cow suit. And I said, Mom.
And I created that video.
I said, he's never humiliated me. We get along very well. If anything, it's the opposite. And I put myself in that cow suit. And then she goes, why? And I go, I thought it would be funny. I like to push the envelope.
Sometimes we miss.
And sometimes you miss.
See, he's a comedian that's just trying to push the envelope and he's having fun with it, And if he likes dressing up as a cow, if that's what he wants to do, I think we need to be more accepting of that. Cow people, if you want to identify as a cow, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'd hate to contribute to the bigotry that those people have to deal with. So if Bryan wants to put on a cow outfit and get spanked and moo once in a while, I'm not the one to judge. I'm glad he's open enough to do it.
Although I will say at 56, I had a cow suit on and I staged that whole thing. I was like, do this, whip me. And I was like, I'm 56 and I'm doing this. This is not a good look. But sometimes you got to push yourself.
I don't know. It's funny, silly, being silly. And then it also gets taken out of context, too. So if you just see that, like, gee, like they're legit whipping you as a cow, it's like, oh, So no one knows the context. It was a bit. He does bits on there all the time.
You just do bits.
The video is out of context, obviously, but that's how Steven posted it to his Twitter account. He said, just a normal day at the office, and it's him walking in the door seeing Bryan Callen getting whipped by some cowboy. So I think Steven kind of outed him with this video, so that's why I think he should be taking most of the heat here. I think he's the one really responsible for making Bryan's mom cry. I don't want to have all that put on me. I was just stating the facts, and I was concerned for the guy. I think Steven should be treating him with more respect, and I think Bryan's mom agrees.
So for whoever made that brilliant video, I didn't see it, but apparently you clipped it, so it looks.
Oh no,
like
I sent it to the group chat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And we all made fun of you.
Okay, well, so somebody made the video, clipped it up. You made my mom cry, you son of a bitch. Good video though. Congratulations.
Funny. No,
These people are so creative.
I haven't seen that video.
Yeah, somebody made an amazing video where it's just like Bryan Callen is being humiliated.
Yeah.
But I guess they clipped it in such a way. My poor mother.
So I think Steven Crowder also owes Bryan's mother an apology. They titled the podcast, Steven Crowder Made Bryan's Mother Cry. So it sounds like they agree with me. So I think on the next show that Bryan does with Steven, he should ask him to apologize to his mother. All right, so before I wrap up this video, I just want to mention how I figured out that Bryan talked about my video, because that podcast is like 4 or 5 days old. But I just heard about this yesterday because the Fighter and the Kid, or the TFATK YouTube channel, posted a video about it. The YouTube channel that talks about the Fighter and the Kid subreddit and reads the comments and stuff. They posted a video because they thought Bryan was talking about their video, but I guess it was mine, and they did give me credit for it, so I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving me credit for making Bryan Callen's mom cry. That's great. No, but seriously, I wouldn't have heard about this if it weren't for that, so I guess that is good that they talked about it and they gave me credit. All right, so that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this. And Mrs. Callen, thanks for being a fan of the channel. I appreciate the support. And make sure you guys go check out my Patreon account. I have a bunch of videos up there. I just talked about how Mark Normand exposed Joe Rogan for possibly not having a comedian's brain. It turns out the guy might just have a civilian's brain like the rest of us. So that's big news. Make sure you go check that out on my Patreon. And then hit the like button here, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.